So Gary, I've been to the school quite a few times now. How's it changed over the last year or so, would you say? 'Cause I think it's a year since I last came here.
Yeah, so I think everything's evolving constantly in schools. We've got far more pupils than we've ever had.
Right. Roughly how many are there on roll
Just
now?
shy of 1,100.
Right, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
almost 200 in the sixth form now.
So how many students do you have in year 11 then?
Currently, just under 200.
Just under 200, and they all take GCSEs?
The vast majority of them will. We have a very small pathway that won't, but there'll be upwards of 180 sitting GCSEs in the summer.
And just talk to me a little bit about what it's like at GCSE exam time in the summer. So the vast majority of students would do their written exams where?
So they would do their written exams in our sports hall, okay? Again, when we were a smaller school, we had different spaces, but now we have to nationalise the sports hall for the best part of a month, and they do all their exams in there. And when English and maths are on, that space is pretty much full.
Right, okay, so the vast majority of students are taking their exams pen and paper at an exam desk in the traditional way.
Absolutely.
And how well do you think that works for most of your students here?
It's worked really well. It's clearly we had the 2 years of the pandemic with CAGs and tags, but it's worked really well. They've practiced it. We do mock exams in November. We do a second wave, but not in all subjects in the spring. So they're well rooted and well disciplined into how to conduct themselves, and it works really well.
So one of the things that we're interested in finding out is what it would be like if some exams, instead of being taken in the traditional way at an exam desk on pen and paper, were taken instead on screen, so potentially on a laptop or on a tablet. Can you just give me your initial reaction to a proposal of that sort?
I think this day was bound to come. I think the world has changed beyond recognition since the pandemic. All of us now do Zoom meetings, which there's no way we'd have done those before the pandemic. So I think this day was bound to arrive. I have got mixed views because while I think there was an inevitability that we will get to this point, how it's going to be managed, I think, is more important to me than what is going to be the end point. So I've already mentioned large exams like English and maths. Well, how do I, in my school, facilitate 180 plus laptops, 180 plus power cables? Do we need very fast Wi-Fi, or is it going to be, done locally? Equally, bitter experience tells me that if English GCSE is running and it's all going through a portal where there are tens of thousands of children going through the same portal, hundreds of thousands, thank you. That says to me, from bitter experience, when I've done similar things, well, is that portal going to crash? What's the facility when it goes wrong? What's the facility for children with special needs that need access arrangements? So I think there are a lot of steps to go through before I say this is a great idea or this is a non-starter. But it's something I'm really interested in.
Yeah, okay, no, that's really helpful to hear. So it sounds as if you're saying if we're going to move in that direction, it would be better to do it in quite a planned, careful way, starting small.
Very small, slowly, maybe pilot schools to begin with. I think there are, but I do think that this is an idea that's going to grow and that is going to flourish.
Yes. And what do you think about the potential effects on the way students learn in classrooms if all their GCSE assessment ends up being on screen? Do you think that will affect the way teachers prepare them for exams?
Oh, absolutely. Because what we do, and I know many other schools would do the same, is we prepare them for the exam. So whether that's low stakes tests in lessons or reasonably high stakes exams in the sports hall. So there would have to be a lead in. I hope Ofqual are not suggesting that we do these for summer 2026. So I would want to see that we can incorporate this into our schemes of work, into our assessment cycle in school before we get to those terminal exams that are done on a screen.
Okay, now that's really interesting. So we talked there a little bit about some of the risks and the importance of going slowly here in a managed way. Just thinking for a moment about students with SEND, with special educational needs or disabilities, can you think of any particular advantages or problems there might be for those students in approaching an exam instead of on paper on a screen?
I think the advantages are that a lot of those pupils are doing their exams on a screen already.
Right.
So some of the access arrangements, not all of them, some of the access arrangements are to have technology, are to have a laptop. So that, I think, would support a lot of our vulnerable pupils. I think the downside would be that children that find working on a screen difficult. We do have a number of students in school that their EHCP would say that they find working on a screen difficult. I also wouldn't want to see lower down the school, handwriting skills completely wiped out. I think that is a skill that we need to be teaching in all of our schools.
Okay. Can I just ask you about devices themselves? So you talked about some of the risks around portals and the importance of the stability of the portal for a large-scale exam. But when we think about devices, would all of your students have their own devices that they could bring in, or do you think that would lead to any unfairnesses between students that had good devices and those that had less good devices? Do you think it will be preferable?
We are a very diverse inner city school with high levels of social deprivation. So what the pandemic taught us was that those families do not have devices of their own. So that's point number one. I also think if education is a great leveller, and we hope it would be a great leveller, that there would be a level playing field, so that all the devices would need to be, Ofqual approved or EdXL approved, because I do think there needs to be uniformity of opportunity.
Sure. I should say other exam boards are also available.
Of course.
So Gary, Ofqual have just launched a consultation about this because we're very keen to hear the views of people like teachers, parents, the wider public, and of course the exam boards. The consultation is on the Ofqual website. What would you say to people who are thinking about responding to that?
I would encourage all school leaders, teachers at every level, even those in primary schools, to engage with this consultation. I will certainly be putting it out to my staff, my wider network of local head teachers and local schools, and also parents through our parent newsletter.
I think that would be great, because our qualification system is really a national asset, and we want to make sure that if there are significant changes in the qualification system, we take the public with us on those changes.
I agree 100%.
Great, thank you.